Hello, hello. This is Aubrey Bursch with Easy School Marketing, and today I'm going to chat with you. Actually, we're going to talk books. Okay, I'm a book lover. Are you a book lover? I hope so. Now, I have books here that I think will resonate with a lot of, school professionals. So I thought, why not? Now, just a little backstory. I'm the little girl at the library who at 8 years old would max out my library card. Like, I would take so many books home from the library. And thank goodness I have a library right down the street from me because I max out my library card even now, today, many years later. So, how I pick books. A lot of people are ask me, how do you select books? You're kind of all over the place, and I am all over the place. So I like to pick up books that challenge me, and I like to pick them up in different fields. I am traditionally a nonfiction reader, just because that's where it goes. But I read a ton of fiction automatically with my kids, so maybe that offsets it. But I look in the following fields. I look at business, marketing. I look at just personal development. I look at health, wellness. That's super important. I look at parenting because I'm a mom of two. That's like half my brain is thinking about parenting most of the time. So this is what I look at leadership, business, all that stuff. Okay. So I've got a pile of books of what I'm currently reading right now. And I also should say, I usually pick about 20 books at a time I'm reading at once, because I flip-flop. Like, books are like friends, right? Sometimes you want to hang out with the energetic, positive friend. And sometimes you want to dive deep in an intellectual, research-based conversation. And I feel like that's a lot of what books offer, right? Sometimes you want the energetic, happy book. And sometimes you're like, oh no, I need to dive more deep into this. I mean, some nights, like right before bed, I don't want to read about leadership. Because some of it's really depressing, and I'm like, oh, I really don't know if I can take that on. So let's get started. So I'll start out with, this is more of a leadership book, but it's actually for anyone. It's Multipliers, How the Best Leaders Make Everyone Smarter. It's by Liz Wiseman. So it's with Greg McKeown, which he wrote Essentialism, another great book. I should have brought that out. I need to reread that one. But Multipliers really, it talks about how some leaders just multiply, they naturally draw in the best talent, and then they grow that talent, and then that talent really has energy to work for them and work for the organization, just because of how the leader builds that talent within that person and just the type of leader they are. I believe they call it multipliers and what was the other one? The opposite of multipliers. And it will be here soon. But they go through it was good news for me, because I mostly was a multiplier. When I was looking through this book, I'm like, oh, okay, I do that. Oh, a diminisher, that's what it is. Diminisher and a multiplier. So a diminisher is considered like the empire builder. They're like hoards resources and underutilizes talent. And a multiplier is the talent magnet, attracts talented people and uses them at their highest point of contribution. So this was amazing and a must read. Like, I'm only halfway through, so I guess it's amazing so far. And I'm very much enjoying it. I think any school leader would enjoy it as well. Next, we move on to Burnout. So this is for all my female leaders out there. I heard about this on a podcast, and I mean, it is a very interesting book. Maybe it's not your type of reading, but I found it very helpful because it talks about how burnout, like what burnout feels like in our body, and how we need to actually process, like stress feels in our body, and how we actually need to process it out. So sometimes I'll go through like a very long, intense day, and even though I don't think I'm stressed, I still need to process the stress out of that. And usually a lot of times their recommendation is like exercise or a walk. And I do find I feel so much better after a good walk in the evening. But anyways, good book, highly recommend. I'm halfway through this one as well. Then these are a bunch of parenting books, and they make me want to be a better parent. And then I start making long lists. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have so much to do. So The Opposite of Spoiled, such a good book. I think we all are looking for that balance of like how we, give our kids the stuff that we want them to have in life, the experiences and stuff, but we also want them to be like really down to earth and have a good sense of self and helping others. This book lays it out. It is so good. I love it. I highly recommend it. Another one, these are all library books, by the way, but I'm totally going to buy The Opposite of Spoiled and Kind Kids because this is great. such a good, I mean, the research that they studied, and like basically it's in get respect, gratitude, and a happier family in the bargain. It is really good. And it was profound because it talked about like, what do we need to have kind kids? And don't we need more kindness in today's world? Absolutely. Excellent book read. Then this is the book I wish I'd read when I was a kid. Make Your Kid a Money Genius, even if you're not. I'm pretty good with money now, but let me just tell you, back in high school, not so much. So I would highly recommend this one. It breaks it down very simply. It's not stressful, which I find some of the money books to be. And then this was recommended by my mentor. And she said she's reading it through a second time. And The Collapse of Parenting, How We Hurt Our Kids When We Treat Them Like Grown-ups. And I got really scared when I read that title. I'm like, oh my gosh, am I already hurting my kids? And I think what it boils down to is that, we still have to be parents. Like we still have to put in place the boundaries that are going to protect our children in the long run, and to, give them the tools that they need to succeed in the world. So good one. I'm trying to think. I'm trying not to make this too long. So I just started reading this, Judgment Detox by Gabrielle Bernstein. It's okay, but I felt like the judgment part was really, especially, as trying to be a better person, it just talks about how we judge ourselves sometimes and we judge others without even knowing it. And she has some great resources in here as well. This, if you are a woman athlete, and she defines athlete as anyone who exercises with intention. I believe that's her definition. I highly recommend this. I wish that so I've always played some sort of sport, right? I wish my teenage self had read this back in the day so that I could have better taken care of my mental and physical health. And that's how I feel now. I've talked this up to most anyone who I know exercises with intention. So I highly recommend this. It's Roar by Stacy Sims. She also does a great TEDx talk. I think she says women are not small men. It's a great talk, but highly recommend that. And then I am committed to reading anything about the brain, and especially the female brain. I happen to be female, so I'm reading about the female brain. But I am committed to learning more about the brain. It's such a powerful tool. And so I'm in the middle of this one. It says Supercharging Yours for Better Health, Energy, Mood, Focus. So yes, 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 and yes. Thank you. I hope these books were helpful. Once again, I'm in the middle of all of them because I like to have 20 books going at once. In fact, there's probably like 6 more that I did not include in this, but this will give you a jumping off point if you want to reserve them at your local library. Hopefully you're not on my local library list because I plan to renew all these. Thank you. Take care. Bye.